Shalom. This Sunday we begin the holiday of Chanukah. This 8-day celebration reminds us of a historical event in our people's long history, the rededication during the 2nd century BCE of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, where the Jews of ancient Israel, led by the Maccabees, rose up against their Syrian Greek oppressors. Chanukah, which means dedication in Hebrew, usually falls in late November, more often in December. This year, Sunday night, December 22nd. We call it the Festival of Lights because along with some traditional foods, games, gift-giving, the most important feature of the holiday is the lighting each night of what is called the Chanukah, the Chanukah menorah. Now, I'm going to assume that many of you have either witnessed or performed this tradition. But what most don't realize is that the actual lighting of the Chanukah was never quite as consistent, never quite as uniform as we think of today. The commandment to light candles, lamps on Chanukah is actually not found in the Hebrew Bible. Chanukah is a post-biblical holiday. And so the traditions were formulated and discussed in rabbinical Judaism, starting first with our oral law known as the Talmud. And there the customs for lighting the Chanukah are quite varied. The actual practice was one lamp, one light each night in each home. So day 1 looked exactly like day 8, one lamp. Now some had a custom to increase the beauty, the holiness, and they would light one lamp each night for every member of the household. And then came the famous schools of Hillel and Shammai. Hillel taught that the best way to light is to have one lamp on the first day, 2 on the second, 3 on the third, etc., in ascending order, increasing the light each night. On the other hand, Shammai declared that the best way to do it for his school was 8 lamps on the first night, 7 on the second. In other words, in descending order, diminishing the light each day just like the oil was diminished. Wow. You give people enough time and watch how many different customs we can create, especially Jews. Now, as you probably know from experiences, we follow Hillel's tradition of adding one light each night, and many have a Chanukah for each member of their household. But I don't bring all this up just to teach you the origins of a Chanukah tradition. I want to look at these customs from a more homiletic approach, because each of them, in their own way, are addressing an idea, a larger idea. And that is, how do you create the light of holiness? How do you create the light of holiness in our world? I would like to suggest that we take each of these traditions as a reminder of more than just how we bring light to a room, but how do we bring holiness in our world? One way, one person lights one candle. I love that quote from Anne Frank. Look at how a single candle can both defy and define the darkness. So how do you bring light to the world? A single act of kindness by one person can brighten a darkened world, one person at a time. Another way, each family lights a lamp. How do you bring light to the world? Live in such a way that others, especially your family, see your example and want to add their light to yours. Another favorite quote of mine: the fragrance of a flower spreads only in the direction of the wind, but the goodness of a person spreads in all directions. That's how goodness grows, by adding your holy light to the light of others. Now, Hillel teaches He teaches us to light one lamp on the first night and add one more each night. And Hillel is right. My friends, if you never increase your giving, if you never increase your goodness, you are decreasing it. Each day, always challenge yourself to do more to increase light in a dark world. Never say, I have done enough. And finally, Shammai. Decrease the number of lamps. Shammai may be offering us the most sobering but greatest lesson, and that is our time on earth is limited. With each passing day, we lose another opportunity to bring light to the world. We need to remember that our days decrease, they never increase. And our time to add holiness is now. My friends, I wish you all a joyous and meaningful Chanukah. No matter how you celebrate this season, no matter how you light the Chanukah, may we all learn to shine as bright as our Chanukah. Let us all be the light of goodness, holiness, and kindness for those in need, for those who need a voice, for those afraid. In a world often filled with darkness, let us all be that one light that defies and defines the darkness. Chag Urim Sameach. A happy Chanukah.